Taking a live look at the shooting scene at Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia. This is a story we've been following all day for you since the news at noon. Shortly after the school day began this morning, shots were fired. And here's what we know so far. We know that 4 people are dead, 9 others are injured. The shooter is in custody, and law enforcement in that area is expected to give a news briefing on exactly what happened in just the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Simone D'Alba. This is all happening in Winder, Georgia. It's just about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta. Larry Miller joining us now with more on what we know at the moment as we stand by for updates from police. Larry? Yeah, so we're standing by for the news conference set to get underway at any moment. If it gets underway as we're speaking, we will take you to it. Here's the latest information that we have from law enforcement. Sources say that the shooter is around 14 years old. Now, that suspect is in police custody. It was at 10:23 this morning when police started getting calls about an active shooter. Now, we've learned in the last hour, law enforcement sources telling our partners at CNN that the school actually received a phone call this morning warning them that there would be shootings at 5 schools and that Appalachian High School would be the first. Officials are investigating where those calls originated. Now, this is the only school where the shootings took place. Our team has been monitoring the feeds from our partners on the ground in Georgia. We just got this interview with a student who witnessed the gunman.
I'm just doing my work in class, and something just told me to look to my left because I'm sitting by the door. I'm sitting like this and the door is like this. So something just told me to look to my left. I look to my left. I see a kid he had like a big gun, it was like an AR with he got his head sticking out the door with the gun. And then then I got up, I started running, he started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times. And then I ran to the back of the classroom. I dived behind the desk, and my teacher had got in front of me he was guarding. But the gunshots were so close to me, my ears started ringing real bad. The whole classroom was smoking, and everything. And then when he finally got out of the classroom, my teacher started barricading the door with desks and bookshelves and all that. And then I had got up. When I had got up, I had saw one of my classmates on the ground bleeding so bad.
You can only imagine what sort of traumatic situation that was for them. Here in D.C., we know that President Joe Biden has been briefed on the shooting a short time ago. The White House press secretary addressed the shooting. Take a listen.
This week, kids across the country are heading back to school for the new school year. Today is supposed to be an exciting day for students and parents, but instead, we're seeing yet another horrific shooting. Enough is enough, and I cannot say this enough, which is enough is enough. We cannot allow this to happen in our communities. We cannot allow this to happen in our schools.
Something that's being echoed across the political spectrum. Now, we're also hearing from countless parents who dropped everything and ran to that school. They are being reunited slowly with their children. Some parents reading text messages, heartbreaking ones, that their kids were writing while they were in the class, undergoing the situation. One 17-year-old boy texting his mom, "I love you."
I mean, you touched on it, Larry, the sheer trauma, the terror these kids experienced. This is the 385th mass shooting that has happened this year. Again, we think of Columbine, Uvalde, Sandy Hook. It's devastating to hear their accounts. Larry, thank you.